It's your boy Iron Panda coming at you again today with another YouTube video. In today's YouTube video, we are actually going to be going over the tier list as of what I see the game now, with the knowledge I have. And this is obviously going to change as time goes on. I'm only going to do the roster, the main roster, like main characters, playable characters, not cameos. And this tier list is going to be based off of every character playing their best possible cameo. So not like, Johnny doesn't use such and such, he's not good. It's going to be based off of using the best possible cameos for each character. And before we get into it, if you guys could like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, it helps grow the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And much love, guys. And without further ado, let's get into it. So what I'm going to try to do is like I said before, this is going to be based off of each character using their best possible tier cameo, and I'm going to try to do it in order of what I think. So we're going to go S. We're going to go S. A. Where's the plus? Plus. Oh, wait, no. Whoa. A plus. A. B. And yeah, we don't need this, so we'll just get rid of it. Can I get rid of it? Delete row. There we go. So this is how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna try to go one in order. One to the bottom. So first up, in my opinion, number one, without a shadow of a doubt, is Kenshi. Kenshi, I mean, I don't really need to say much. Like, I'm a firm believer that, like, people can just grab this character and they don't have to be good with him as long as they get Sento out and they can understand how to use, like, basically how to use Sento and trap you, you're stuck. You could be the worst player, but if you can understand how to get Sento out, doesn't matter what cameo you have, in my humble opinion, like, he's number one. And also at the highest level, when people are taking this game serious and like we're competing at the highest level, Kenshi's no joke. You might have a massive life lead, but if he touches you once and Sento comes out, he can recharge Sento for 1 bar. He can jail into Sento now since the buff with the patch with Sub-Zero. I mean, come on, like, plus frame after plus frame, you have to guess, and if you armor wrong or in the wrong spot, you guess wrong, like, you die. It doesn't matter how big of a life lead you are. This is the one character in the game I truly believe it doesn't matter how big of a life lead you have over him, he's always got a fighting chance. So yeah, that's my opinion. Number two, now people might disagree with me here, but I'm going to be honest. I think it's Sindel. I think Sindel is number two. I know Kung Lao, the cameo, got nerfed with the hat. It's now -3 on block, so you can't use it for pressure. But that doesn't stop her from using it and getting a jump in and you having to block either low or high, and whatever hits first, she's on your ass. There's no stopping it from happening. Her reset with it, if she ends it, and I believe forward 4 because she's like plus 64 on hit when she ends the combo, she has so much time to put down another Kung Lao hat. It recharges like that, and she can go right back into her hover move above the ground. And now again, you have to guess for your life whether overhead's gonna hit first or low hat's gonna hit, and it's still great. Low hat is -3 up close, but with her zoning and everything and from a distance, it's still plus. It's only negative if you're trying to use it on a block string. So that's the only nerf, and she never really used it for that to begin with. She just used it for, to get you on that mix-up. So I definitely think, like, she's so strong. We've seen what Sonic's been doing. We see what Koizi's been doing. So I would be wrong if I didn't put her at number two. Number three for me, excuse me, is going to be right here, Johnny Cage. Yeah, he might have gotten nerfed. Or not nerfed. Kung Lao Hat might have got nerfed. I understand that he has certain other cameos make him have 900 health and blah 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 blah. But with Sonya cameo, he still sits at like 950 or 1,000 health, and he can get ridiculous combos, like 70-some% combos off of Sonya with the onion rings, and his Showtime meter and all that stuff. Like he in plus frame after plus frame, standing 1's +4, standing 1 is +4, standing 1-1 is still +3. He has a 9-frame advancing mid that hasn't changed. He's plus like 3 on standing 2. He have to guess between 2-1-2, which is the overhead, and 2-1-4, which is the low. I mean, come on, man. Like, he can get Goro cameo. He can combo off of his shadow kick. Sonya, he gets like 70% combos. Let's see, what else? Kung Lao's still really good with him. He just can't, apply that pressure the same way anymore. So, some might say it's not his best cameo. And, rightfully so. But, he can still use Mataro. Mataro is hella plus on that low, so it's like plus 13. He can go right back into what he's doing, and it's non-stop pressure in my opinion. And hey, man, it is what it is. He's number 3. Number 4. This might throw a lot of people off. Well, not really. I don't think this will throw a lot of people off. I think that this is still where people think. But I got Asura. Asura has 2 mids, the purple stuff, like, I mean, dude, with Serena and Sonya, like, she's busted. She has the best, like, getaway in the game whenever you get her in the corner. If you don't time your armor break just right, she's out of there. You know what I mean? So it's hard to trap her in the corner. She is, like, her long reach and normals with the sword is absolutely crazy. That's busted in of itself. It's, and it's hard to outspace her. You can kind of outzone her to a T. Or not to a T, but to a point, I mean. And even then, it's still kind of hard because her projectile is plus on hit, and she can, do a block string into it, and then back into it, and then back into another block string, and then, it's, her air-to-air combos, like, the purple stuff, she's just a solid character with forward 4, back 2, all that good stuff. She's got 2 great mids. Number 4 in my opinion. And the thing about her armor is, like, only certain characters can punish it. It's extremely hard. So good luck. Now number 5. I'm gonna be honest. Number 5 for me, I'm gonna say Raiden. Raiden is still in the top 5. I don't care what people say. I truly believe that because he can just do the low, and he has the low into Storm Cell, into Kano, and that is just absolutely ridiculous. Yes, you can flaws block it, but he's still safe, and he's still plus, and he can just keep doing it. He's got the overhead. Not only can he do that low on block into Storm Cell and keep himself extremely safe, he can do that low and combo into it. Him and Jax is also super busted. Jax, and Kano are super busted. He puts out crazy damage with Jax. Still just solid character, great. He has a pretty decent projectile. He also can get out of the corner when he wants. All he has to do is just jump and fly out of the corner, and he's gone. So it's one of those things, like, and he also has his overhead, you know what I'm saying? So he's so strong. Like, I know a lot of people were like, oh, but he's not hitting for 50 anymore. Yeah, well, there's not very many of them that are hitting for 50, but that doesn't mean that he's not broken, in my opinion. So I got him at number 5. You guys let me know what you think, but I still think he's in the top 5. Now, number 6, I'm going to be honest. Number 6. I know the 2 characters I have it between, but it's just like, because this is, I'm going to say it. Raiko, some people might not like it. Some people don't agree. Because I know it's like living by like, you know, flying off the handle type of deal, because it's like if you're wrong you die, but if you're right you hit like a truck. So, you know, but with Raiko and Trimmer and Raiko and Darius, dude, he hits like a tank if he is correct. Now, if he's wrong, he loses a lot of resources, and I understand that. But my argument with this is like, people were saying in the beginning of the game that Baraka isn't top tier, it's just his damage. You know what I'm saying? And because he's hitting for 53% in one B&B with one bar. But here's my thing, like, you can't make that argument for him and then not say that he's not top tier and not say the same thing about Reiko. I understand that with Reiko, like, if he's wrong, he dies, like, I get that. But, like, when he hits you, he hits like a tank. He also has one of the best projectiles in the game. It's an armor break at that. And, like, when you watch Rewind, he's a prime example. He'll do down 4 into that, into his projectile, enhanced projectile sometimes, and it's just chip damage that you got to hold. I even saw Foxy figuring out some stuff with Reiko, with Sonya, that was absolutely busted. He has the overhead, and, like, I heard Rewind say, like, before, you can't just sit there and eat overheads because they hit for 90%. So every time he's coming and he's hitting you over top of the head with that overhead, it's 90%. So, or excuse me, 9%. So you're eating 9%. If you eat 3 of them, you just lost 27% damage. You know what I'm saying? So then when they block high, you know, you start mixing in the low. You know what I mean? Like, so, and he has one of the best anti-airs in the game, and he has one of the best neutral buttons in the game with that back 3 and that command grab. The only unfortunate thing about that command grab is it doesn't have a tick string, meaning you can't do like 1-2 into command grab. But again, when he does hit you, he hits like a tank. I saw Rewind do a like 67% combo at ECT. Like, you can't tell me that this character is not, you know, S tier. I'm not saying he's number 1. I'm not saying he's number 2, but he's definitely up here. You know what I'm saying? And people that are arguing it, like, you know, hey, I hear your arguments. I'd love to hear them down in the comments. But he is up there, and I don't care what anyone says. That's where, like, I have to put him there. Now, I got one more S tier character, and I'm gonna throw it out there, and I'm gonna be honest. Well, let me think. Okay, I'm not gonna put any more in S tier for right now. But number 7. Man, number 7. Okay, actually, I am. I'm gonna put one more in S tier, and it's Geras. I think Geras is up there. With the Kung Lao cameo again, you don't necessarily have to use it on block and be -3, but the thing about Geras is he has command grab, he has tick strings for the command grab. You have to guess. He also has a low that will launch you. He has an overhead string that he can confirm into. And you know, I know some people might say, "Oh, well, it's not good," but here's the thing. You know, some people may argue that it's not good, but here's the thing. When he hits you, he hits like a tank. And then you also can't deny that he can sit there and throw out Lao Hat, throw out Sand Tornado, and build meter, and then do the charge with the Hourglass. And when he does the charge with the Hourglass, he's also getting a free breaker, reverses time, puts all the damage back, gets his health back, and can maneuver what side of the screen he wants to go to. Okay? Maneuver what side of the screen he wants to go to, and he can do all that for 1 bar. All that for 1 bar, and when he hits like a tank. He's doing 45+%. Like, he hits like a tank. And his command grab has directional input, so you could choose which way you want it to go. I just think that he's a strong character. I think he's like top 10. Like, I know some people may not agree, but I definitely think he's there. And if you watch Gur definitely proves that this character is great at the high level. He might lack in certain areas, but he's definitely there. Like, he is 100%. He's in the conversation for me. All right, my next one. I'm gonna start putting some characters down here in the A+ tier. So for me, the next one, I'm gonna have to say, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say Liu Kang. I think Liu Kang is top 10, 100%. And I main this character. I'll be the first to tell you. You have 10 frame advancing mid. You have a 12 frame advancing mid. His weakest point of his whole game is the neutral. He's short and stubby, but he has probably arguably the best projectile in the game next to Reiko, because his projectile eats other projectiles when he enhances it. He has the low dragon. He has the low dragon. He has the air fireballs. And in my how-to guide, like I explained, you can use the Striker cameo and the Kung Lao cameo still. You get with the Kung Lao cameo, you get throws on both. You get a combo off your back throw, and it's a mind game. You get forward 4 staggers. That's -3. You get forward 4-3, which is -4, and it's an armor break. You get back 2, which is an advancing mid. That's 10 frames. On 2-2, you're plus 1-2, you're 0 on block. And with Striker, you can and Lao, you get a free get in when they're trying to zone you and you need to get in. You can put the Lao hat down and you can do dragon kick across the screen. You can land and then let the Lao hat go, you're safe. You can do dragon kick, call in Striker bombs, you're safe. You can wake up with your armor break. With your armor and use your cameo, you're still safe. What else is there with this character? His sweep is +1 on block. And then you can do enhanced dragon kick in the neutral because you're -5 and not a lot, and nobody can punish you. And also when you do it, if and when it hits, you can just do EX dragon kick in the neutral. If it hits, you just do dragon kick back forward 3, and you get a confirm off of it into Striker bombs, and now you got pressure back. So and his stagger game's unreal. I think because I'm not saying he's not top 10 because I got him in the top 10. I just don't think he's like top 5 or anything or top 3. Just simply because like his weakest point is his neutral. His down 3, off of his down 3 you can jail is 1-2 and his 2-2. But and off his down 4-2. But it's still like that's his weakest part of his game because he's so stubby. But when he's right in your face, it's a wrap. If you want to get in a zoning war with him, you go ahead. If the Liu Kang player plays it correctly, he's probably gonna win 9 times out of 10. So with that EX projectile, you can't really jump in on him. He can use Striker bombs to stop you from jumping, and then you have to hold the chip damage from. He can use the Striker bomb to still make you eat the chip damage from his projectiles. He can use the Striker bombs to get a jump in. He's just solid. I just don't think because he lacks in the neutral, I don't think that he can be top 5 right now. But also, yes, and I'll be the first to tell you, he does struggle in the neutral, but his zoning makes up for it. So I'm not knocking that. I'm not sitting here downplaying Lou because I have him in the top 10 and I do believe he's there. But yeah. So where are we at right now? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, number 9 is Katana. I think Katana is in the top 10. I think that a lot of people don't want to talk about it, but excuse me. Or some people may not want to admit it. Some people may want to downplay it. I don't really care. I think she's top 10. She's pretty safe on everything. She can get full screen conversions with her projectiles. With the Kung Lao cameo, it's very great for her utility. You see Foxy use it all the time. I just think that she's solid. Like I really do. I think she's a solid character. I think she's up there, and you can definitely win a tournament with her. She's not unplayable. She's solid. She probably has the second, third best zoning in the game. But she's definitely got top 4 zoning in the game between Sindel, Liu Kang, Reiko, and her. Those to me are the best zoners in the game as of right now. But she's solid. She's not like really hella unsafe on anything. She has a great anti-air. I want to say it's back 2. I'm not too sure off the top of my head, but it's a mid and it's a great anti-air. I get hit with it all the time. I got to stop testing certain people when I'm online because it never fails. They always anti-air me, and they're not scared to throw it out. They're great with it. So, yeah, I definitely think that she's a solid character. All right, That was number, what, 9? So, for number 10, I'm going to be honest. I think it's General Shao. I think General Shao is in the top 10. I just believe that, like, one, he hits like a tank. Two, he can have a great mix-up with Lao Hat, but that's not even his best cameo. Like, with his Lao Hat, you gotta guess between the low and the overhead and all that good stuff. But that's not his best cameo. His best cameos are Darius and Trimmer, and he hits like a tank. He has a command grab and all and stuff like that. You know, and I've seen him in a lot of tournaments. Actually, we just saw him at DreamHack with Dialogue and a few other guys. And I mean, they did, like, you just see it, and then you're like, yeah, this dude's solid. And you know, I don't know much about him as far as like frame data and stuff goes, like the rest that I've been talking about. But just watching him and playing against him, there's times where I'm like, damn, I just can't guess right. And when I can't guess right, I die. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely got him in the top 10. I'm gonna be honest. Like, and he may not have the best zoning, but somehow when he puts that axe on the ground, it's like he becomes a total different animal that's now you got to deal with getting thrown on that axe and getting launched into the air for 40%. Yo, what's up, Heart of Nep? Sorry, I'm just doing a tier list real quick for my last YouTube video that I need to get done. But I can see you on my phone. I bounce back and forth and talk. But yeah, that's General Shao for me. I definitely think he's in the top 10. I know a lot of people are going to disagree. Yeah, Big Panda tier list. What's up, Z's? Alright, so number 11. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Number 11, I got... Well... I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I think it's Tanya. Here's the thing about Tanya. I think Tanya is extremely slept on. I think Tanya is extremely slept on. I don't think people have really grasped her full potential yet, especially with other cameos that will be releasing in the future. In the future of this game, I think that she's one of the characters that has so much untapped potential so far, and she has one of the best buttons in the game with her mid. That shit is insane. Her armor launches, and she can get a combo with Goro and keep it safe with Goro. Her zoning's okay. Her zoning is like, you can kind of see it coming from a mile away. You can just duck it. But if she hits you with that air one, she can't get a combo off of it. But again, like, it's just her pressure with that mid and the low and her armor being able to keep it safe is crazy. No, I'm not muted. Am I muted? I shouldn't be muted. Let me double check. No, I'm not muted. It might have just been your... I'm not muted. But, yeah, Tanya just has, like, literally probably one of the best buttons in the game. Oh, and that's the other thing about General Shao. General Shao has one of the best buttons in the game, too, with his standing 2. That shit is unreal, and it catches me slipping a lot. You know what I'm saying? It catches me slipping a lot. So... It catches me slipping a lot, and General Shao stand 2 is actually insane. Tanya, like I said, has one of the other best buttons in the game with her mid, her low, and on top of that, like I said, keeping everything she does safe with Goro, and her launcher safe with Goro, and it launches you and gets a combo with Goro. That shit's insane. Okay, good. Y'all can hear me. So yeah, I definitely think she has the most untapped potential, in my opinion. I think she's hella slept on. And you know, I just think that she's one of the characters I think that, like, as the course of the game goes on over the next couple years, I definitely think that she can end up like up here in S tier and be in this top 5 conversation. I definitely think so. You know, and I definitely think she has that potential. All right, my next character that I'm gonna be honest. I'm trying to think here. Because there's like 3 ways I could go with this. I'm gonna be honest. I got smoked. I think a lot of people don't want to hear it, but like, and people just wanted to say like Smoke is gimmicky and all this other shit. But here's the thing, bro. Go watch Just Nasty. Go watch Han Rashid. You go watch these guys and a handful of others. I'm sure I'm probably leaving out, and I mean no disrespect, but like you go watch them and you can't tell me that shit's gimmicky and that it's overrated. Okay, like I don't care. That mix, that invisible mix, like you can't hit what you can't see, and you also can't block what you can't see. That shit, when you do it, that means you guessed right and you got lucky. Okay, like, and also like that shit is solid. Like he is solid, you know what I'm saying? Like I get that, like you can up block his 1 string to back 3 2 string. Like I get that you can up block that and it might take him out of the game, but like a good Smoke is not gonna just throw that out there and let you keep doing that. A good Smoke is gonna mix the shit out of you, cancels, invisibility setups. With that Sub-Zero, busted, bro. Like I'm sorry, like he's not top 5 or nothing, but like that shit is broken, and like you can't hit what you can't see. I'm sorry, like you just can't. You can't. I don't care. His forward 4, the armor break, and his plus on block. You can't hit what you can't see, and you can't block what you can't see. Okay, like it's not. Like I'm not just making this up. It took me a lot of time to sit in a practice and in the lab and just practice blocking the overhead teleport, the low teleport, and reacting to it. Yes, you can react, but again, a good Smoke is not just gonna throw that out and let you hit them. You know what I'm saying? Like they are going to mix you, and he's great. Like he really is, and he hits like a tank. Like if he hits you, you're getting 43, 45%. So I've even been hit by a 47% combo. All right, and that wasn't even with probably his best cameo, if I remember correctly. Because his best cameo is Sub-Zero. I see Just Nasty. He just put on a fucking clinic over there at DreamHack this last week. Alright? This shit is good. It may not be the most busted, but it's good. Alright? And it's not just gimmicky. Alright, my next one. the next person I'm putting up here. Okay. The next person I'm putting up here is Li Mei. Everybody can cry about, you know, Li Mei is not busted, like, or Li Mei isn't good or whatever because she doesn't have a mid. Bro, you don't need a mid when you can hit for 54, 55% combos with Scorpion, okay? I don't care. I'm not trying to hear that shit. Go cry somewhere else. This shit is actually, she's genuinely good. She has just as many plus frames. She's great with the stagger. She has just as many plus frames as Johnny, okay? With her couple of strings that she has. She's great, great staggers, pretty decent projectiles, and the lantern, so she can stop you from just jumping in. Yo, what is going on right here? Alright, whatever, it doesn't even matter. But she can stop you from jumping in with the lantern. She can convert combos off the lantern. 55% combos with Scorpion. Like, you know, come on, bro. Come on. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Alright, now the only thing you could say is that one skin that she's got, that fucking pirate skin, is ugly. I'll agree with you. Other than that, she's solid. And she's definitely an A tier. A plus tier, excuse me. Alright, now my next one is gonna be definitely I'm gonna go with Mileena. I'm gonna say Mileena. I think Mileena is good, and I think she's mid-tier. Like, I have her, like, and I say mid-tier because I'm going in order, so it's kind of like you're just kind of like breaking it down. And I don't think that she's like A-tier, but what definitely hurts her is that you can flawless block 1-2. You can flawless block the 3rd hit, and if they commit to it and you read it, you get that punished. She does have 1 mid, but then she has the low. Ball roll and neutral for some reason is what a lot of like Mileenas do, and for some reason like that's just great because it catches us all lacking. I don't care if you're in KL or you're in fucking tournament, that shit catches you lacking. I don't care what anyone says. It's like they do it and it works. The biggest downfall is that 1-2 string being flawless blockable and making her mad punishable, and also the little overhead that she does after the 1-2 string, the 1-2 grab when she jumps in the air at you. You can up block that and get a full punish, but I mean, other than those 2 things, like, she's pretty solid, and she has crazy movement, like crazy movement. I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you. Yeah, I'm on YouTube. I got you right here, ! YouTube. There you go. So yeah, I got Mileena there. That's what it is. She also can mix you with that low, which is hella good, and she can get conversions off of it. Yeah, I just think she's solid. She may not be the best, but she's definitely solid, and you can win with her because I've seen people winning in tournaments with her. So, online tournaments anyway. So I'm not gonna sit here and hear that she's trash and blah blah blah. I'm not hearing that. Quiet. All right. All right. Now this is where I got to make decisions. All right. I'm gonna say Omni-Man. I definitely think Omni-Man is strong. I'm not saying Omni-Man is ass. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying Omni-Man is ass. I think Omni-Man is actually pretty good. I think Omni-Man has some broken stuff. I think Omni-Man gets really great meterless damage. So like you don't have to spend meter on your combos because you'll still hit for 35, 36, 37%. You have a great forward 4, which is your advancing mid. It is slow. It's kind of like Kotal Khan's mid, his forward 2, and MK11. It's slow, but it covers a lot of ground. He has back 1-1, but people have learned that if the second hits a high, so they can duck it. So, you know, you got to be cognizant of that, but that's where you can play the mind game with a cameo. I just think that he also has some untapped potential that we don't know yet because we don't play enough cameos and lab enough, and he just came out. So I definitely feel that, you know, he has the argument to definitely move up like Tanya does like one day, but I don't think he has more potential to grow than Tanya, but I definitely think he has potential like one day potentially to like be up here. Maybe up here. But like definitely move up here like this in this row as time goes on and we learn more about him. But I think and another thing too that is super frustrating is if you're not very, very good at doing his fatal blow combos, you will drop it. It is hard to convert into those. For some reason, I don't know why NRS made it that way, but it is what it is. But again, if you put enough time and effort into anything, it just becomes muscle memory and you'll have it, you know. But he definitely is solid. He has the overhead with the 2-2 string as well. So like you can mix that overhead with Kung Lao, the Kung Lao hat, and they have to guess what's gonna hit first, and then you get a full combo. He has this jump kick, which then you can get 32%, 33% off of just hitting a jump kick. You know. So I definitely think that like he is strong. I definitely think he's strong. He's not weak in any way. I just don't think he's like top tier. Because he doesn't have really great zoning and yeah. And Viltrumite's stance, the thing about that is like everything there is punishable. Like, and people can say, oh well, you can just do the overhead. Yeah, but if I up block the overhead, which really that's the only option it leaves you with, you're screwed. So it's kind of a guess. It's not really a guess when you do that, because if you do 4, you're punishable. You do 1, you're punishable. You do 2, you're punishable. And if you do 3, the overhead, I up block you, you're punishable. So really, all you can do is kind of teleport. And even then, you know, you can kind of call it out, and if you're right, you know, you can get a combo off of it. But if you're wrong, he gets his combo. So that's just really what fighting games come down to. But I tried him. He wasn't my character. He just wasn't for me. You know, I don't really like that air-to-air stuff. I like to be more on the ground like a Liu Kang and have fun that way. All right, now I have one more character I'm gonna put in A+ tier. Wait, hold on. Let me look. Okay, I have one more. Yeah. Okay. Well, yes. Yeah, I got one last character I'm gonna put in A+, and that's Havoc. Okay, I'm not saying that Havoc is bad, and I'm not saying that he's great. I'm just saying that with Striker, he has great stuff. That like, one, he has the 2 overhead strings, one being the headbutt and one being the overhand fist. Okay, I believe it's 1-1-2 and 1-2, 1-1-2 and 1-2-1 or something like that. Or yeah, I think it's 1-1-2 and 1-2-1. They're both plus. Now, granted, I can up block the overhead, the overfist, and get a punish if I read it. But the problem is, I have to read it. I have to also with Liu Kang, because I'm one of the few characters that can do it. When I flawless block the headbutt one, he is +3. But if I flawless block it, he's now -8, and I can punish with standing 1. That's only because Liu Kang has a 6-frame standing 1. Not every character can do that, so that's not always an option for them, and I get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, even then, in the window's tight, and even with even with other characters having a 7 frame standing 1, it's a really tight window, so it's not easy to do, but you can flawless block it, and it's not his turn anymore. You can take your turn back and apply pressure. But it's a really tight window to hit the punish even for Liu, and probably just because I need to practice some more, I'm going to be honest, because I suck. All right, but yeah, I do believe it was -8 or -7, one of the two. It was -8 or -7. It made him negative with the headbutt one, but the overhead one with the overfist, you can just up block it, you get it. But he also has the tether, which is great to close out rounds and stuff. It's definitely really great to close out rounds with, but it does cost you 2 bars. But yeah, with Striker, man, he's just solid. Like I know a lot of people, like when the game first came out, excuse me, like they were trying to argue that like he was like down here. With Striker, man, Striker just synergizes so good with so many other characters that like I do believe that he's, you know, not he's mid tier. He's not, I don't believe he's bottom tier, you know. So I just think that he has really good options with Striker. All right, now this is where I'm gonna start putting some folks down in A tier, and my first one that I'm gonna be real with is definitely Kung Lao. I definitely think Kung Lao is a A tier character. Now listen, I understand that he has his armored launcher that he can get combos with, and I understand that he has his dive kick, and they're 2 of the best moves in the game, but if you take that away and he has no bar and he doesn't have the resources, you can hurt him so bad because he doesn't have an option. And also, if you're playing a Liu Kang player and you don't have Goro or Sonya, and you throw out that armor move, you're not safe, you're getting punished, and you can't, if you're not using Goro or Sonya anyway, I don't know what you're doing with your life, because that's what really makes him who he is. But when you take those things away, man, that's really all he has. And when he has no bar, it's so hard for him to get anything going. So I don't know. I'm not saying that he's horrible. I don't think he's like bottom 1 or nothing. I just, you know, his only mid too. His only mid is back 2, and it's unsafe, and yeah, he really just comes down to being a strike throw character. And with Goro and Sonya, like, yeah, there's an argument for Sonya to be a better fit for him than Goro. But, you know, we're not arguing that. We're just arguing that, like, if you take dive kick and you take his armor break away from him and you make him use his resources, and me being a Kung Lao player, I mean, not Kung Lao, me being a Liu Kang player, I'm trying to bait your armor every time, because once that bar's gone, you don't have it anymore. And if you're not using those 2 cameos, I'm on your ass. You know what I mean? I want you to throw that out because I'm punishing you every single time, and I'm making you play my game. Unless, you know, even if you try to, you know, in using the dive kick, I'm going to throw out Striker and try to get you going with that way. I don't know. I just feel like he's not bad, but he's not great either. So I definitely think he's an A tier character. My next character, I'm going to be honest. Excuse me. I got Baraka. I think Baraka's still mid tier. I think he falls in this realm of mid tier, like Kung Lao and Havoc. I know that he's not hitting for 55% for 1 bar with a B&B anymore, but man, with Striker, go watch Tweety. You go watch Tekken Master at the highest level. Like, bro, they're finding a way to win, and he's not horrible, but he is not great anymore. And another thing is, just because those 2 win tournaments, like, you can't just put him up here, because like he's not up here anymore. Like, he is down here. It's just those guys have just found ways to win, and that's just because that's the type of player that they are, and that's just who they are and what they are. Like, they're just 2 of the greatest to ever do it, and of course they're gonna find a way to win, you know. And with Striker cameo, it makes it so much easier for them to find those ways to win and set themselves up for success. But you know, he does struggle with some things, but like with that Striker cameo, he's still super solid. And yeah, I'm not hearing that he's bottom tier. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's mid tier. He's not like bottom 5 like everyone wants to try to make him out to be, because he's not. But I don't think he's the worst in the game. But he's definitely not the best in the game anymore, obviously. But he's there. He's right there. And Reptile, I think Reptile is next. Okay, I think Reptile, I want to actually get to learn how to play Reptile in the future. I definitely think Reptile is right where he belongs. I don't think he's the greatest, but I do think once he gets his invisibility setups going, super strong. I definitely will say, I think for sure his best cameo is 100% Scorpion. But sometimes Honeybee definitely makes an argument for Cyrax with those setups that he gets with Cyrax Bomb and getting into that invisibility setup. Because again, you can't hit what you can't see. And also Poseidon and Costner, like those three guys, man, they really have found, again, they're just guys that are finding a way to win with what they have, but that doesn't make him, S or A plus, and you know what I mean. I think he's right where he belongs. His projectile is really not that strong, but he can punish you for projectiling with his armor, with the gator roll. So I mean, he does have some tools, but he's not like that strong. He does have a really good mid, and that back three, oh my goodness, it catches me lacking. It is probably one of his best buttons. Arguably, it could be up there for one of the, not the best buttons in the game, but it's for a really strong button in the game with that back three, because it catches people lacking all the time, and you gotta watch your toes. But yeah, I think he's right where he belongs. Yeah, I definitely think Scorpion's his best cameo, 100%. Okay. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna put Shang here, but I'm gonna be real. I don't know anything about Shang. I don't play a lot of Shangs. Shang has never interested me anyway, so I don't know a lot about him. I definitely could be wrong. I don't think that he's like the worst of the worst, but actually, you know what? Hold on, I'm gonna put him right here for a second, because I'm just gonna go ahead and put who I think is better than him. I'm definitely putting Rain. Okay, wait, hold on. Do I want to put anybody else in front of him? Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Okay, this is what I think. All right. Let me start with Rain. Rain, I don't think is like one of the best anymore. I don't think like Rain is like giving people hell like he was when Sonic Fox was using him with the Cyrax, the Cyrax cameo. But with Striker, he's still really good. He has that mix between the overhead and the low, and he still has his setups with if he goes Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero also is arguably one of his best cameos next to Striker, with that setup with the little portal whirlpool thing on the ground, and now you have to guess between the overhead and block that, and he has the one cancelable string where he can stop it and then go into a grab. Like, he's not horrible. I'm not saying that like he's horrible. I just don't think he's better than like all of these guys up here. I think that after the Cyrax nerf, he definitely went from being like top 5 down to like here. Because like I just don't see where he's better than like all these, but he's definitely still really solid. I'm gonna be honest, I struggle against him. I had to go in the lab against him the other day because I just didn't know enough about him. But now knowing that he's like -5 on most strings, and yeah, and seeing some of the things, like I kind of understand my options more. So yeah, and now I know when to take my turn back. But blah blah blah. That's not neither here nor there for this. But yeah, I think Rain's right where he belongs. Quan Chi. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Since Quan Chi has came out, I haven't played a genuinely good Quan Chi except for like 2 who really made me have to work my way in. And all they had to do was just back up because of his really long buttons and make me have to work my way in. And I'll be honest, those were there was like only 2. The rest I've kind of like just steamrolled because I think people are playing this character wrong. I think he's made to zone, and people are trying to play him more like in your face. And I don't think he's made to be played in your face. I think he's made to be played in the neutral. And I think he's made to be more of a zoner. But he does have the overhead launcher and the low launcher. Yeah, they're unsafe if you guess wrong and I guess right. I get to punish you. But like I just think too many people are trying to use him like a Smoke or a Lee May or a Liu Kang type of deal where they're in your face and they're just beating the hell out of you. I don't think that that's Quan Chi at all. And I think that people like need to like keep that in mind, that like he's a neutral character with his far-reaching normals, and he's a zoner, and you got to get those portals up. I just think that he has potential to go up. I just don't know enough about him yet, and also he doesn't interest me. So I'm probably never going to play him, but I definitely will wait for someone like Foxy to make a video on him and watch him and see what they think, and then, like, see what he looks like as time goes on. He did just come out, so I'm not trying to be too harsh on him because, like I said, I don't know enough about him yet. I just feel like people are, like the casuals are playing him wrong, and I think that people at the higher level that I've seen play him in tournaments and stuff are slowly figuring out that, like, you don't want to necessarily be in their face. You want to keep them in that neutral, and you want to keep them in the zoning game and make them play your game. And then he seems to be really tough because the two Quan Chis that I played that really made me work. And I ended up losing to both of them, but they never once let me with my Liu Kang get in their face. It was like, you're going to play neutral, which is where I lack at anyway as a character, but they made me play neutral, and they made me have to zone, and it was kind of hard because whenever you zone, if he times it just right, he gets that overhead teleport, and then he can just back up and go back into the neutral and make you have to play his game. So I think that just people are playing him wrong, and right now they just say he sucks. He might have some room to go up, but I don't know. Shang, I'm not going to lie, I don't know anything about Shang, so I'm not going to put him in, like, B tier, but I'm also not going to put him in, like, A+ tier because I don't know anything about him. I'm just going to keep it a buck. I don't play very many Shang Tsuns, so I'm just going to put him here, and it's no disrespect. I don't know anything about him. If anybody wants to let me know down in the comments, by all means, go for it. The bottom three, I want to be honest, I think is this. I think it looks like this. I think it looks like this. Now, some people might say, "Oh, like you can't have a B tier in this game." Listen, my B tier is not really B tier because you can win a tournament with any of these characters if you know what you're doing, and you can play really well with any of these characters at the highest level. Okay. That's just depending on how much work you want to put in. Like a prime example is, look at Scorpion. Scorpion's arguably one of the worst characters in the game. I have him bottom 3. I think he's the 3rd worst character in the game. Some people will argue that he's the worst. I don't really care. Here's the thing. He does get decent damage. Decent. Not great, but decent damage. And people like MK Javier have found a way to make it work. And, you know, he doesn't have the greatest mid. I understand that he has no plus frames. And I'm not saying that, you know, he, like, B tier means, like, throw him out of the game. I'm just putting him here because I'm trying to separate it, like, in order. Like, this is my bottom 3, this is my top 5, blah, 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 right? And I'm not saying that you can't win a tournament because MK Javier, he dominates. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, Adventures. I'll be right there. I'm just finishing up this tier list video. But MK Javier has figured out a way. He's figured out how to, you know, dominate with Scorpion, and he's put in the time and the effort. I'm not saying that he's number 1. I'm not. But I'm also not saying that B tier means you can't win because MK Javier proves that wrong. Tweety and Tekken Master prove that wrong with Baraka. Alright, you don't have to be top tier number 1 Kenshi to win a tournament. Alright, I've seen Kenshis lose in tournament and I've seen Baraka with Tweety win. I've seen Honeybee win tournaments with Reptile. I've seen Poseidon win tournaments with Reptile. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just how much you want to put in and how bad you want to find a way to win and how smart you are as a player. And yeah, but I understand where the frustration comes from with Scorpion. And yes, he probably is one of the worst characters in the game. He has no plus frames, and he has decent damage, but it's, you know, you're hitting 40% for 1 bar when other characters are doing that meterless, or 37 for 1 bar when other characters are doing that meterless. Like, I hear the frustration, and I get it. Natara does have probably the best movement in the game, and I'm not saying, like, you play a good Natara, like, they'll make your head hurt, and I'm just being honest, like, they will make your head hurt with all that flying around on the screen. It just gets my head's already hurting. All right, like, I hear you, but I don't really see where she's that strong. I'm gonna be honest. I just don't. And Sub-Zero, all right, come on, like, let's be real. To get anything going, you kind of got to spin the bar. Serena is probably one of his best cameos. I actually played somebody the other day with Goro with their Sub-Zero. Low-key, I think he might have been onto something, or maybe I just didn't know enough about that particular team to really know what was going on, because it definitely threw me off guard when I seen it. But he might have been on to something. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? So don't knock it till you try it. You guys let me know. I'll probably never play Sub-Zero. It is what it is, you know? Excuse me. But, yeah, I can definitely see where people think he's the worst character in the game. His overhead's reactable. His overhead is unsafe. Yeah, I mean, Ice Clone's a good tool if you know how to use it, but, like, his damage really, really, really lacks. He does have an advancing mid, but yeah, it's I hear the frustration. He's negative on everything, but safe on everything except for that back two. But it's a risk whenever you throw that out and you try to mix with it. So he does have an unsafe reactable mix. You just have to, you know, react and be on your toes. And you know, but the thing is, I actually, in my opinion, Serena might be one of his best cameos. But I still think, I genuinely think, Sonya is his best cameo, because you can combo. Once he gets the 140% throw, and also you can with his back, is it his back three or back 3-3 or whatever it is, the little low kick. You can combo off that, and I believe you can combo off of his slide with Sonya. So. His EX slide with Sonya. But, you know, again, it's spending resources after resources to get the damage you need. And I get it. I hear the frustration. So, yeah. And honestly, I'm going to tell you guys something. I think after a while, I think that there's 3 characters I'm genuinely interested in learning for myself and, like, actually, like, learning. 1 being Reiko. 2 being Tanya, and 3 being Reptile. So, like, one day, maybe after I play them and I understand more and more about them, like, from playing them and understanding, like, what I would do against that character, maybe maybe that'll be a good look. But, yeah, this is my tier list. You guys let me know down in the comments what you guys think, and that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and, yeah, much love, guys, and see you guys soon.